Hey, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. As always, it's great to see you. This week's video is going to be all about numbers, all about statistics. That kind of that boring, dry, unsexy topic that we do about once a month.
Not at all.
No?
No. We are going to make this so that it's interesting for anyone out there, whether you want your first home, whether you're thinking of selling your home or moving to the area. And we're going to do it from the perspective of past, present, and future.
Okay. Well, how about if we start with the past?
Excellent.
This last week, the CPI report was released just yesterday morning, and there was some good news and maybe not so great news. As you remember, in December, the CPI, that's the Consumer Price Index, which is a measure, of course, of inflation, came in December at 3.4%. There was a lot of anticipation that the number that was going to be released yesterday, inflation rate, was going to be under 3%. Many projected that it was going to be at 2.9%. Unfortunately, that number was a little higher for January, but it did come in less than December, came in at 3.1%.
Yep, and we actually dug into that report, and what stood out to me was housing. The housing actually went up 6%.
Right. Kind of ironic, right?
Really, with what we're doing. The other one, which shocked me, was vehicle insurance went up 20%.
20%.
20%. Couldn't believe that. But to counter all of this, the only good news in all of that, gasoline went down 7%. So yeah, that was good.
Wow, kind of confusing, right?
For sure.
Hey, the other thing that we found yesterday was the market statistics were released, and that's, of course, the MLS through showing time, the activity that occurred in January. And so there was some real, I think, some optimistic numbers that we want to share with you.
For sure. So let's start with the numbers.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. In the month of January, the median sold price was $615,000.
And this was down 2.2% from last month and actually up 7% from the previous year. So again, this talks about the prices of homes remaining pretty much stable for this area.
Pretty steady. Right. The number of homes sold in January was 1,359.
And this was down 16% from last month, but again, we are experiencing low inventory, and up 0.7% from last January, which again is pretty constant.
Okay. The number of days on the market, and of course, this is the time frame from when a property goes into the MLS and is active to the time that it goes under contract, was 29 days.
And this is 4 days more than the previous month and 8 days less than last year. So again, in terms of trending, it seems like it's not taking so long to go under contract.
Okay. And then lastly, the number of homes for sale at the end of January was 1,748.
And this is down 4% from the previous month and down 20% from January 2023. So again, speaking to the inventory levels.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I think on an optimistic note, there was a great influx of new listings in January. We saw a dramatic increase in the number of listings that came on the market. And then along with that, we saw a dramatic increase in the number of properties and the number of transactions, if you will, contracts that occurred in January. I think that's what's kind of getting our number of homes for sale lower, is because as properties are coming on the market, many more than in December, we're seeing them go under contract almost immediately.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So in terms of the present, Ray and I are of the consensus, we're describing it as vibrant. So we've talked to other agents, we've talked to mortgage lenders, and there's definitely more activity going on. We're getting calls. We have seller clients who are getting their homes ready for sale possibly next month. And we've been doing a ton of showings.
Yeah, in fact, just this last week, we had two great examples of what's happening within the marketplace. And we've had some buyers that have been looking in this one particular neighborhood. And gosh, within 30 days ago, we couldn't find them one property to purchase within this neighborhood. And over just the last 2 weeks, we're seeing at least 2, maybe even 3 properties a week coming into this particular neighborhood. I mean, great for them, gives them an opportunity to make a little bit more of a selection, right?
That's right.
I mean, we also had another buyer this last week that prepared just a beautiful, beautiful offer on a property here in our marketplace. And lo and behold, we submit the offer and find out that there are 3 other extremely competitive offers that the sellers are going to have to review before they make a decision. It's active.
For sure. A lot more energy for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I think the bottom line is really the future, right? There's another CPI report that's due on March the 12th, which will give us an indication, will there be a continuation with kind of this flatness with regard to inflation rate holding around that 3%, or will it indeed start to come down into that 2% range that the Fed chairman is talking about, is hoping for? Also, speaking of the Fed chairman, the Federal Reserve will also make another announcement at the tail end of March that will be on the 20th of March. So we're really hoping that we'll hear some good news in both of those reports.
Yes, that would be excellent. And we can't finish a market update without talking about mortgage interest rates.
No, we can't.
So I checked this morning, we're at 6.9% mortgage interest rate, which is higher than what was, I think it was like 6.2 just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's definitely edging up.
Kind of coming up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure the CPI report had something to do with that. We
Yeah.
don't know. But I think what we're getting used to and what we're seeing by this activity is that people are getting used to the 6.5 average.
Kind of the new norm.
It's the new normal. So it looks like they're just continuing to get used to it, and it'll be around for a while.
Yeah, it is. Well, listen, we hope that you found this information to be valuable, and we really do appreciate the time that you spent with us again this week.
Yes, please don't leave without subscribing to our channel. We are this close to getting 10,000 subscribers.
Shazam.
Yes, there'll be a big party, trust me.
That's very exciting.
So please subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Bye.